Western Australia to stay shut until 2022. Let's have a look. Hello everyone, Florian.heise here and welcome to another episode of HeiseSays. Grab your stein of coffee. We're going to have a look at this article from Yahoo News discussing, Western Australia. They're going to be closed until 2022. They're going to remain shut until 2022. Now, if you had have mentioned this a year ago, that would be closing down the entire country, or even 2 years ago, or probably more like 3 years ago. A year ago, you probably would have expected this. But a few years ago, before Corona was even on the horizon, people would have thought you're nuts that we're shutting down the whole country, closing the borders, stopping people seeing their family members. How long can this go on for? This is just crazy, everyone. There's going to become a point where people hopefully start to get frustrated. But, that's the funny thing. You've got a large proportion of the population that appreciate being protected, taken care of by their premiers. It's going to be interesting to see this next election cycle, how it will play out through different parts of Australia. What do you think, everyone? Do you think the incumbents will get in, or they'll mix it up a little bit? Could go either way. So, Western Australia to stay shut until 2022. There you go. Western Australia does not plan to reopen its borders to coronavirus hit eastern states until 2022. Premier Mark McGowan wants to see vaccination rates of between 80 and 90% before setting a date to allow New South Wales, Victoria and the ACT back in. So, does this 80 or 90% include children, or is it just adults? It depends on where you get your data from. We have opened at various points of time along this road, and I expect we will open once again we get to very high levels of vaccination. I expect that will be sometime next year, he told 9 News on Monday. Imagine if it was the other way around and Western Australia was infected with thousands of cases and New South Wales had none or Victoria has none. Would they really want to open to us? I think the answer would be no. And he's, to be completely right, I agree with him. He's right there. You can see the same type of fear that's gripping Western Australians from, the dirty Easterners. You can see the same thing happening here, everyone. The Federation easily falls apart when people are afraid, when people are scared. Lockdown, Ausländer raus, that type of thing. West Australia and Queensland have both spoken out strongly about the prospect of starting to ease restrictions once key national vaccination thresholds of 70 and 80% are met. Both states lag behind other jurisdictions on vaccinations. Well, it's because we've been pretty lucky here in Queensland. We've been hardly affected, honestly. You talk to people and you go out and about. It depends on who you talk to, but a lot of people haven't been impacted at all. In WA, 34.2% of people aged 16 and older are double-dosed, while in Queensland, it's 34.5%, while the leading jurisdiction is the ACT on 45.9%. Mr. McGowan maintains he's doing what he can to keep his residents safe. For ihre Sicherheit. In the meantime, we've got to get into some of those communities that have low levels of vaccination. Aboriginal communities, multicultural communities, poorer parts of the state, and make sure we vaccinate as many of those as well, he said. New South Wales, Victoria and the ACT remain in lockdown as the Delta variant continues to spread across the eastern states. Now, Western Australia has an advantage over the rest of Australia because, frankly, Perth is one of the most, if not the most isolated city in the world. It really is quite isolated. So I thought we'd have a look now at the Johns Hopkins map, everyone, to see some of the COVID data and figures from Australia. And to put this in perspective, because all this news can be concerning and everyone gets worried, let's put it into perspective. We have a look on Perth here. Come on. What I want to see, Western Australia. Okay. In cases in 28 days, they've had 27, 0 deaths in 28 days. They've had a total of 1,087 cases And they've only had 9 deaths in all of Western Australia. Everyone, what else can we see here? I want to see the recovery rates. Totals. Here we go. Here's the incident rate. Come on. Western Australia, 41.32 per 100,000 people. So, it's an up to incident rate. The case fatality ratio in Western Australia, 0.83%. And we have the vaccination rate in Perth. Let's see what John Hopkins is saying compared to that article. 1.8 million people 1.8 million doses administered. Now, that'll be some people with double dose, and that'll be some people with one. So there we have it, everyone. What's the takeaway and the solution to this? Let's jump on my soapbox. Here's the thing. You need to let your frustrations know at these restrictions at the polling booth. You need to vote intelligently and using your preferences to send a clear message to your political leaders. There's one interesting thing. Remember when we talked to the lady from the Informed Medical Options Party? And one issue she was highlighting was the fact that the majority of her supporters don't even vote, or they don't even know how to vote. And you've got all these people, you'll hear the standard one, if they let you vote, if your vote made a difference, they wouldn't let you do it. All this really defeatist, pathetic attitudes coming out of people who just don't even want to participate in democracy, who don't even want to try and influence it, try and change, even to their small little part, try and change what's happening, and then just bitch and moan all the time about it. I'll happily bitch and moan, but I'll advocate for people to try and change the system through the political system we have. Now, I know there's a lot of people that are fearmongers. There's a lot of people terrified about what's going on, and they've got quarantine camps and all of this here. But we still have a multi-party system. We're not a single-party state, everyone. Gulag Archipelago isn't being implemented yet. There's still time to step away from the precipice if that is what you're worried about, and that means people getting involved in politics, stepping up, and having their say. Now, if all of these politicians, if what happens is, think about it, if we have the Prime Minister saying open up, open up, open up, and then we have the Premiers refusing, and that comes at loggerheads, then you can send a clear message at the state level. Because Australia's a funny country. We'll have conservatives at federal, and then we'll have at state, you'll have the lefties. So it always gets all mishmash often. It's interesting to see. What do you think, everyone? Do you think people will make a difference? I hope people will be politically activated because of this, and we'll start to see that manifest. Anyway, thanks for watching. Let me know your thoughts and opinions on this one. Thank you all for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe to the channel. If you're a fan and enjoy the content I create here, there's a few ways you can support us. You can join us on YouTube or Patreon. Sign up for SelfWealth or Stake. Use our affiliate links at Amazon, eBay, Independent Reserve, or AussieBroadband. You can buy our merch from HeiseSays, use Gold Pass from the Perth Mint, or support us via PayPal. Take care, and I'll see you next time. Bye for now.